9 There it is. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That was a vibe, the quick little DJ session. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Intentional belief music today. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the media we listen to, the books we read, and the people we surround ourselves with. So I was like, oh, I'm vibing with this, man. This is cool, man. It's honestly been a minute since we've read a book that I haven't read before. Like it's been like it's been like reruns, so it's like me understanding things at different levels, but this I've literally never read before. So it's like high key exciting, and I love the way the author writes and everything. Like this has been dope so far. So I'm excited for the discussion. What's poppin' Imani? What's poppin' Mary? What's poppin' Sam? What's poppin' Marcus? It felt weird calling Mama Mary Mary just now. But what's going on, Mama? You know what I'm saying? What's happening? What's going on, Roshizi? Hey, if you're in the space where you can, Roshizi, pop a camera on, you know the vibes. What up, girl? What's happening? Good to see you, girl. Happy Saturday. But yeah, y'all,
Happy birthday, Roshizi!
yeah, happy belated, happy birthday, OG. It's January, it's the season. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's bussing every day this year. It's game time. So I'm excited, man. Who would like to do the honors of kicking us off? Because you know what I'm saying? I'm excited about it, but I will. But it's up to
Well,
y'all.
and just for everybody might have saw it or you might have missed it, but we're covering over the forward introduction. So literally like 4 pages, and then chapters 1 and 2.
It was busting. I like being a rhino, you guys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna start off saying that. I believe all you guys are rhinos too. It's why we all get along the way that we do. So let's get it. But who would like to start us off today? Anybody? Any takers? We're gonna give it a.
I can go.
I was about to. All right, good. Go ahead, mama. Take
All
it.
right. So, like Mikhail, I have not read this book, and I went ahead and downloaded it on the Audible. And as I was listening to it, I taken some notes, and it's so funny because it's kind of comical the way he narrates the book itself. And I don't think I've ever like really um like compared myself to an animal. But the way he talks about how the rhinos are, how their their skin is super thick. My parents used to tell me to grow a thick skin, but it was all in the wrong reasons. Now that I kind of read or I listen to the audio in the chapter one, the art of charging. Um, it's amazing how he talks about just the simple things that we should be doing. Anybody, not just an entrepreneur, just anybody. And there's a lot of us who don't just get up early. They sleep in. And I've done both. I've been both. I've been a rhino. He states he compares a rhino and a cow. A rhino who is one who gets up and goes and charges for what they want, for their prey, whatever it is that they're doing. They do it at a fast, at not a fast pace, but just a focal point on what they want. They're focused. They're in their lane. Um, and a cow, he compared that to something that I have been able to resonate with for a lot of my years. And not gonna lie, guys, TGF is the space that definitely helped me change my mindset on that. I've always been one. And you can ask all of my kids, get up, make your bed. At least make your bed, get a small win. You know, let that be the first thing. And I myself sometimes can't do that. And if it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, I have to do this because I allow my work, I allow myself to be a cow. at times, because sometimes I would just get up and go to work so that way I could pay rent or, buy the groceries that we need for the house. And I have no goal in sight for that day. And there's been a time where I have been a rhino, where I have been able to get up. As you get older, guys, you have an inner alarm where it doesn't matter if it's the weekend or not. I'm up. Um, Lately, I have been putting my weekends as me sleeping in until 8 or 9 o'clock. I know that's not late for others, but that's late for me. And I feel like my time that I spend when I get up for work, and I read my Bible and I do my daily devotions, that I've lost that time. My routine is not set because I'm willing to allow myself to sleep until 8 or 9. Um, but it says here to get out of bed early and to charge. That if we feel ourselves getting up just to pay rent, just to go to work, just so that we can do things of a cow mentality, that is time to get mad, guys. It's time to um, really think about what we're spending our days with. We don't have a lot of time here. I know we all know that. Um, but I've highlighted a few things and notes that I put down, and there's a lot there. The word charge is said a lot in this first two chapters. But not to just charge, but to charge massively, to charge with intent. And that's just the things that I've got out of that. He states that um, rhinos are always on alert in the jungle. You don't find cows in the jungle. Cows. Um, and he said it best because he explained it as that they only feel certain rhinoceros deserve that type of focus because of whatever surroundings that you grew up in. You feel like you are not deserving of what you want or the fear of failure. And all of those have come to mind in my personal space. Um, as I've grown over these past 4 years, um, going into chapter 2, he talks about the training, and I haven't done a goal or written down anything in over a year. I've kind of let, I've kind of put myself on the back burner. Um, and it's time. It's time and I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but like this book really, it really hit. It really hit me. And I had put on here, he told me to put, I am a rhinoceros. I have a damned torpedo spirit. I am full of energy and I can't wait to get up in the morning and start charging. And on the second card, he wanted us to put down what one of our goals were. And I put, I am a successful trader who will have a live trading account by March 2025. Um, so for those who are new to TGF, um, I was a very active trader for a very long time. And I let that fade away. But I know that I am a successful trader. I've done it before. Um, and that right there, my leaders, not being biased, my son, he helps me a lot. Mikkel, who is like another son to me, gives me that inspiration, and they've never given up. They've never given up. But um, the rhino training, it's just like Mikkel started this book club with is we become a product of three things, and that's the people we associate with, the books that we read, and of course the media we listen to. And I have found myself watching the news at night. Why? I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of bad crap, dude. So like I just there's it's all bad to me. Like I feel like, why did I want to watch this? What did I think I was missing? And it seriously makes me sad. It makes me sad thinking about how bad this world is. But on the other hand, um, I sit here and I think about and witness the movement that God is doing with a lot of people too. So I continue to keep my faith and um, into the good, and pray for those and the leaders that need praying, because we're all sorts of messed up. This world is crazy. It's so tainted. But anyhow, just a little bit on chapter 2. I wrote down some notes, and it says, cows and sheep will bring you down. You become what you feed your mind. And that's biblical, dude. It talks about your garden. Your garden is your mind. It's your brain. It definitely has a big factor on what you place in it, especially early in the morning, how you start your day. You listen to secular music first thing in the morning. I can't do that. My husband does that, and I'm like, it's too early for that. I can't. I can't. And he's starting to learn that, which I appreciate him for doing that. But um, it's funny because because I'm like, hey, why the heck? I can't do it. How do you do that? How do you feed your mind like that? Is cuss word after cuss word, and being somebody who's definitely in a midst of my faithful journey, there's things that disturb me that didn't used to disturb me prior. Um, but he talks about he quoted a quote that Jim Rohn, which I have grown to know. I've listened to Jim Rohn every day in the morning for a while, and that's definitely kind of left my daily routine. But just any type of motivational things on YouTube are good. But he put, don't let your learning lead to knowledge, let your learning lead to action. And that's, he put, in other words, it's charge, just charge. You've got to take action. I tell that to my girls all the time. You can want, but there's got to be action behind it. Otherwise, you're going to be a dog chasing its tail. And I know y'all seen dogs just go round and round and round and round and round. That's how we look. That's how we look. We have this big thing that we want to do, um, and we have good intention behind it. But that feeling of um, comfortability, complacent, um, makes you go back to how you used to handle things. And that's where I found myself at. Um, it says, plan for nothing and you will get nothing. Plan your dreams and work your plan, and you have a chance to make that come true. So um, I had wrote down, watch that our garden is not overran with weeds. And that's the secular stuff that I was talking about. But this book really got me um, really thinking about where I am in my life right now. So I am super excited to finish reading this book. Chapter one or intro, chapter one, chapter two, bomb so far. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead. Imani, do you want to go? Are you ready?
So I am gonna just kind of piggyback off of y'all today, and I'll be back right next weekend. But yes, I'm gonna listen to everybody's thing, share my little tidbits, and go from there. Okay, y'all.
So Sam, do you want to go?
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Mama Mary, for that insight on it. Because um, this book, like also Mikhail was saying, I haven't read. I didn't even hear about this book, so shout out to the leaders for putting it. I feel like everything's just alignment. This book is going to be exactly what we all need because we have the vision, we have the plan. We just got to run towards it now. So this book is definitely well timed in our journey of this. I have ordered the book. It is on its way tomorrow, so I wasn't able to physically read it, but I was just going through like summary audiobooks, whatever I could find on YouTube, previews, and just like what you said. So, Mama Mary. So I appreciate that breaking it down very well. Um, so it's suggested that I mean this book breaks just people down into cows, rhinoceroses, and what I pictured that is because I mean cows. I mean they just be grazing, they just be chilling, they just be living life with no urgency. They're eating grass, and then there might be some better grass on the other side, but nah, there's grass here, so I'm gonna stay right here and just graze right here. And then rhinos, their mentality. I mean, I just looked up some facts about rhinos. I mean, their skin's 2 inches thick. Because I thought, why? They just bounce off of things they just run into. Like, how is that possible? Because they're built for it. They're built for it. Their skin is 2 inches thick. And the thing about rhinos is that they have poor vision. Like they can't see but more than like 30 meters away from themselves. So what they use is obviously their sense of smell and hearing. And so that just tie back into us and like, I mean, we're running towards this vision and we don't even see it, you know, but it's our intuition, it's our belief and our will to just keep running towards that vision, keep charging, like Mama Mary said, we charge towards it because that's the mentality of a rhino. They just either it's fight or flight, but they're charging. They're acting like their backs against the wall, and they got one way to go, and that's through you. And you ain't gonna stop them. So that's the mindset we have to have. We have to tie it into just humans, because I mean, when we have will, we have emotions, we have feelings, we have freedom of choice, right? And so to take that into us, we have to have emotional resilience. I mean, rhinoceros, when I see that word, I just see the word resilience. So I think that's a key point that he's bringing out of the book. Rhinoceros is just going to be hand in hand with resilience, and so that's the mindset. That's you know the physical, um, the strength that we have to have. You know, because as I'm sure we're going to go on through this book, it's going to bring out how why we need to build this resiliency. Now it's just telling us in the first two chapters of you know what it's just breaking down what the rhino his comparisons are. So yeah, so if we just have skin like rhinoceroses, I mean, we'll charge into anything and then just bounce back. We'll just bounce off any problem or challenge because I mean, we're building up that thick skin. We're building up that emotional resilience. So no matter what we come across, it's not gonna shake us. I mean, because like rhinoceros are like what 2 ton? Like they're heavy. You're not moving them. Nothing's moving them. Whatever they want to go, if they want to be right here, they're gonna be right here. You're not gonna get them off any spot that you want them on. So we have to just truly embody, at least through this book and onwards, embody this rhinoceros. 6,000 pounds, so that's 3 tons. So yeah, you're not moving it unless it wants to be moved. So that's what we have to embody. So to tie it into, obviously network marketing that we're a part of, if we want to be somewhere, we're there. It's our decision. Like I said, we have free will, and now we're embodying the mindset of the rhinoceros. And so wherever we want to be, whoever we want to be talking to, that's what we're going to be doing. And then what we learned from the last book, don't forget the seven laws of success. We detach from the outcome. So we get where we want to go, but we detach from the outcome that we want personally. So when we come from an understanding of just teaching and helping and serving others, then that's the emotional resilience that we're building. So no matter what, as long as we come with our good heart posture, that no matter what is said on the other end, that we are resilient, we remain steadfast, we remain unmoved, and we remain charging forward, like this book is getting into. So next week I'm getting my book again tomorrow, so I would be able to, dive in more and actually go off of what, well, actually read the book if I will. So I appreciate Mama Mary, that insight you have. I mean, because now you make me like, man, I gotta go read this book, because that's why I love this book club, because it allows us to hear other sides, other people with other insights or whatever y'all get from the book. Because I know if we were to reread the same book, we would get different things out of the same book, because the book may not be different, but we're different. We're different at the time of we're reading it again. So I love being able to just take all of y'all's perceptions of it, perspectives rather. So we could just, you know, shorten our timelines of where it is we want to go. So yeah, I appreciate all of y'all, every single one of y'all appearing up on this Saturday morning on this 2025 into this new book. So let's see who is Rochelle. Are you available? Can you go right now? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, guys.
I think she put a message in there that she hasn't read it, but she wanted to get everybody's input and then go at the end. So it's either Marcus or Mikkel.
Already, good call. So let's see, Marcus, would you like to go, sir?
Yo, what's up, y'all? I apologize. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I am not feeling the greatest, so I asked for y'all's prayers. Thanks, Mom. I guess I'm getting sick. But um, what's wild is I haven't read this book either, and let's take a second because there's a lot of things that I think Dave Ramsey, or it was probably Scott in the introduction, but he said something that resonated with me. I was like, damn. So if I get a little more emotional, I apologize in advance, but I'm just keeping it real with y'all. So he says, at times you feel weak and dizzy from exhaustion. Success seems at times an imaginary creature, impossible to capture. But you continue on because you are too deep in the jungle now to head back without your prize. Months go by, maybe years, still no sign of success. For those that y'all know, I've been going after my dreams and my vision for, you could say, a decade. I've been actually pursuing a lot of what I wanted to do since I was like freaking 12. But um, the fact is that it's not supposed to be easy. And right now is the best time to go after it. And I think that one of the things that he didn't understand is he saw this guy. It's in chapter 1. And he was frustrated because he was like, dude, I had a whole bookshelf of books that claim to have the secret of success, um, these practices, these things I can implement, things that I can stay away from. And he couldn't figure it out. And then he started working for like this millionaire who barely put himself together, didn't have much of a routine. But the one thing that he recognized is that he was a relentless pursuer after everything he went after, aka he was charging, aka the way he explained it in the book, is that he was a rhinoceros. And I feel like at times the 2 inch thick skin, like I still get exhausted because I've been through the ringer, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I I think the biggest part of that was the fact that because you have like screw the torpedoes, screw whatever obstacles are in my way type of mentality. Um, he says that they might knock your breath out once in a while, but you're right back on your feet, ready to charge again and madder than hell. He says, keep charging, don't quit. Um, and I think he was talking about like when you finally sniff out an opportunity and you're going after it, he goes, you charge full speed at the opportunity. So I think about when Mikhail and I first met, and then how we were pursuing this vision and goal of developing TGF and providing an abundant lifestyle for our families and our loved ones, and seeing some of that come to fruition, right? He says 3 tons of the rhinoceros mowing down all obstacles in the way, trees and vegetation poke at the skin, but you don't feel it, and your opportunity is in sight and you're gaining on it. It is a good opportunity, though the chase is long and hard. So, like, as we were making headway, like, honestly, momentum is something serious. And like the first year and a half, 2 years of us really building, not just in network marketing, but our company, we were like, I definitely could, like, we were right there type of vibe. And then he goes, you start to tire. It is getting away from you. Damn it, you scream. I'm a rhinoceros. I'm successful. I'm going after it. Your second wind comes, and your rhinoceros eyes turn fiery red as the breath from your nostrils turns to steam. Then all of a sudden, you've got it. Your opportunity's tired, and you have run it down. You make the kill, and then you rest a moment. Your great lungs heavy, your legs ready to collapse, your skin torn, bruised, and bloodied, and you bask in the thrill of your victory. I feel like this is very relative to what it is that I've got going on in my life. Um, and sometimes that part of feeling exhausted, he warns you to not wear yourself thin, and to focus on a singular purpose. He says all energy is directed toward the attainment of one burning desire. If you've read Think and Grow Rich, you know that is the number one principle he talks about. All achievement begins with a burning desire. And you can never charge two things at once. It's funny because I feel like Sam and I've been talking about that a lot. You concentrate on getting your first target, and then you fix your concentration on your next goal. Never spread yourself thin. And I put in parentheses in the book next to me. It's been my fault. It says a magnifying glass will not start a fire until it remains in one spot continuously for a certain length of time. If it is constantly moved from spot to spot, nothing will get warmed up, much less start a fire. I have conversations with Sam about you can't chase two rabbits at once and expect to catch them both. You've got to zone in on one and then you can focus in on the other. And I feel like although I'm understanding the principle and I'm working on applying it every day of my life, I keep charging despite the difficulties because I never know when the flame is going to spark, when it'll finally go through. It could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be a year. But I recognize, as my mom said, that I could either go after that, or I could be a cow. And I know there are times where I'll be very transparent because not a lot of people on the call, and I don't know how many people actually catch the recording, but overall, there have been a good amount of times over the past 365 where I want to just throw in the towel. And I have a degree, I can go get a good job, and I could just go day to day. But I like every time I have entertained that thought, I know that I'm going to be operating beneath my potential, and something about me just doesn't allow it. I get looked at like I'm crazy. It's crazy. I think he said that cows are always saying how they are being reasonable and ensuring that they're taken care of, and there's no way that there's only a select few that are chosen, although we understand that is literally it's the few that choose to actually go after that. Then all of a sudden you've got it, right? And I feel like I think one of the biggest things I wanted to touch on is that the difference is belief. He says belief. Cows just don't believe that they can achieve, and consequently they don't try. If you don't, if you feel like you, or if you feel like you don't know whether or not you have a burning desire and unwavering belief, like look at your actions and compare that to what it is that you really want to do versus what it is that you're doing. So like if those actions are aligned with it, then you're believing in yourself and you're doing the things that will inevitably lead you, you're charging. But if you don't believe, you're subconsciously going to operate underneath that potential and go back into habits and things that you're used to or things that you're familiar with. And the difference is energy, y'all, enthusiasm. Shout out running. He talks about it. Y'all know me as a science major. He said they have a natural zeal for living. For me, I always say natural zeal for God. I'm very in love with the individual who forgives me despite my unworthiness, despite my undeserving ability to have that grace. I accept it nonetheless, and I just make the most of where I'm at. So scientifically, biochemist says prove that you have endorphins that are morphine-like substance created from the brain. If you don't know what morphine is, essentially are opiates that depress pain and seem to expand your awareness of pleasure. So that's why whenever you get in a car accident or there's a bad, like my sister tore ACL, she probably received some morphine while she was in the hospital. But overall, like you have natural things that your brain can literally flood with antidepressants. I know Mikhail likes to go and skate around his neighborhood. I know me and my mom be working out. Basketball be bringing me joy as well. But as long as you keep believing and you keep charging, he says at the end, it has to come from inside you, believe and succeed. Earl Nightingale says this often in The Stranger's Secret. Believe and succeed. And like he pauses very intentionally after he says that because most people don't really grasp it until they fully implement the understanding of that. And I know my belief is high. And I know that because it's all in your mind, I tell this to people all the time. You can't control much, but the one thing you can control are what thoughts you focus on and then your attitude of mind. Shout out Marcus Seta. But your attitude is the most important ingredient. So maintaining that bundle of energy and being a pleasure to be around, making sure you're not wasting your energy on trifling matters. I don't know why that word trifling is funny to me. You be trifling out here. But later on, he says, think big. And these are all things that I do. And I've recognized that I spread myself thin and I allowed myself to get in a part of things I didn't know that I was kind of um, willingly distracting my focus. So to everybody that I've been able to help, I'm blessed to be there and have that type of ability to help you guys. I also want to apologize because I feel like I've been charging, and I know that the only thing that's going to get me there is if I just continuously going after it and maintaining my spirit. It's the last thing I want to say before I pass this thing. As you associate, so you become, right? He says, charge with rhinoceroses, fly with eagles, run with cheetahs, and eat with lions. So obviously the whole book is about a rhino. Y'all know the vibe. Eagles are a very unique animal. I did an entire value session on eagles before. But eagles fly at a altitude that most birds do not. And if you see another bird at the altitude of an eagle, it's probably an eagle. So raise your standards and realize, are you flying with pigeons? Are you walking with cows? Run with cheetahs. Cheetahs are obviously the fastest animal on the planet. So like literally going after that and then eating with lions. Dang, I don't know who's, but I think it was it AB? I don't know. Or it was an audio I was listening to. But it was just talking about there's a reason why like all animals called or respect the lion because they know that they will get eaten if they are not in the right position. So in the process, just having that relentless attitude, focusing on yourself and understanding that you got to take care of yourself. You've got to discipline yourself, and you got to sell yourself on what you're doing and why you're doing it. You're like your number one product. And I get tired of people who blame whatever opportunity they're part of or what situations they have or they don't have. Because at the end of the day, people are literally signing up with you or walking with you or choosing to do life with you, praising and worshiping with you. There's a reason behind that, and there's influence there. But if you're constantly looking to blame rather than take responsibility, and most people, like you're one, shame on you because people are counting on you. And then two, most people will eventually stop following and they'll do their own thing. So I do recognize though that sometimes just because some people will choose to be cows again, or some individuals just will find themselves running out of that breath. And instead of waiting and running after with that second win, they literally just quit. And it is at the end of the day, like an essence of belief. So as we carry out, obviously we're in the new year and we're headed to um, honestly what I believe to be the biggest year of my life and a lot of people's life, not just through one opportunity, but through multiple. I really am grateful to be mindful of the environment and the people and understanding that like I'm gonna be bruised up, bloodied, and scraped, but I'm gonna enjoy the process. I'm gonna have fun, and and at the end of when it's all said and done, I'll be smiling. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that video of that UFC fighter, but some woman she got her rocked. I'm not gonna lie, like she was eye closed, other eye bruised up, cut on the thing, blood everywhere. She was like, "Yeah, I had a great time." I was like, "Damn, that's definitely my life." So I feel that, and I'm just excited because I understand that over the last year, God has showed me what I can truly handle and what's most important. So even when I feel like I can't go any longer, again, environment is everything. I got people that depend on me and rely on me, people I can lean upon. Uh, Shout out my guy Mikhail. Not a lot of people understand mentally what type of challenges and situations mentally that you're going to be faced with and have to overcome. And like he said, the larger the rhino, the larger the obstacles, the more you continuously elevate, the bigger problems. I enjoy solving big problems. Last thing I'll say is I feel like I've really developed excuse my language, but fuck it, I'll figure it out mentality because I know where I'm headed, right? So like screw it, there's a freaking 100-year-old oak tree in the middle of me and my goal, and you got to be willing to like not try to go around it, but to run through it, so that you can learn your lessons, you can take it for face value, you can appreciate what lessons you learn, what character development it brought you, and then you can bring that in your service to others and get to where you want to be. So y'all know me, y'all. We bend, we don't break. I think I've quit one thing in my life, and I vowed to myself I'd never quit again. And I'm excited. I genuinely am. I apologize about the emotions. I just recognize where I am to blame for a lot of the things that have not happened yet. And although I haven't seen, except in my vision, what I know I'm promised, I either can believe in it and go after it, or I can quit and settle. So I'm gonna keep charging y'all. I'm here. Again, I appreciate y'all's prayers. My boy can feel me. But I love y'all as well. And I am excited. I know, Mom, it's been a year, but it's all good. We're gonna be having our unlimited webinar at the beginning of or at the end of next week. Y'all stay in tune for details on that so that we can be intentional and make sure you guys are locked in, ready to go for the next 365. And I'm excited, y'all. Here's a lot. I sound like AB now, but this is the last thing I'll say for real. We had a team. We had a team in World Ventures called Team Rhino, and their whole energy and culture was crazy. Like I just never understood a lot of the stuff that we've implemented. I've learned from the outside looking in, studying Mikhail's team when he was killing it with that company, as well as Team Rhino. And man, you could feel their energy every time. Most of the people walking stage, Team Rhino, GPN, and they just exuded belief. They exuded um, excitement, and they exuded tenacity and a resiliency that you don't see most often. And I would always think like, why is it everybody? Like, I feel like I'm having a hard time finding people, and it's because one person decided to adapt that mentality, apply, and continuously learn and take care of themselves. And then that energy was contagious as they helped people all over the planet go and change their lifestyle. So y'all just know everything is really possible. And I'm just grateful because I find myself around people who are on that same type of mission. And just know I'm always here for you guys if you find yourself going through the ringer. Trust and believe you know what's popping. So I love you guys. I'll send this over to Mikhail so he can wrap it up before Imani and Rosizi share what stood out to them. Thanks for being patient with me. My apologies, y'all.
Bro, you're a beast, bro. I love y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I had to send that real quick, but I didn't want to send it in the beginning. I love you, boy. But no, you guys, whoa, just whoa. This book and everybody's take on this book is something serious. And truly, I just appreciate the vulnerability. I appreciate the transparency. And it's real in the field, man. Like it's real in the field. And ultimately, Marcus, to speak to your situation real quick, bro. As you know, I've literally been there. And I used to live in my pops while I was living on the couch, boy. And it was like in the middle of the mix. And it gets tiring. Not having your own, it gets tiring. Always moving around on other people's time. It gets tiring. Consistently looking for something in the jungle that you have not seen. And bro, I tell you, just keep going. Just keep going. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But like, as I'm reading this, I'm like, it's crazy because I'm watching everybody in their journeys, and this is the one of the reasons why low key I was excited to go last. I didn't want to open it up because I wanted to really hear where everybody was at. And one of the reasons why I am probably so excited right now is one, living through a current blessing, but also two, as I'm reading this, and literally like a week ago, I went through my old phone and Google Photos and got all of the old photos for like my entire story of entrepreneurship, all the last 11 years. And I was looking back upon things and I found a picture. I was literally just trying to find it as he brought up Team Rhino, but I found a picture and I took it December 2019, my first goal setting event with Eric Grzybowski. We were in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There was an event there that happened. And mind you, I had always known about Team Rhino too. I was always a part of Get Paid Nation. Honestly, the first time I ever heard about this book and the reason I have it in my book list is because the founder of Team Rhino got on stage at a national event and he name dropped this book as the reason why he created his team. And I just wrote it down in my notes and I forgot about it and I never read it all these years. We're talking 10 years ago. Crazy. But in that, that man is the same man that when I got started in entrepreneurship, Joey Wilson was like, bro, you remind me of this guy named Roscoe Taylor. It was the day I got my 5 Series BMW. He was like, bro, you got the same BMW as this man. Y'all walk around the same. Y'all got the same attitude. I was like, okay, well, bro, I got to meet this dude. I go to the training. He name drops the book. I write in the book. December 2019, fast forward. We've broken world records. We've been all around. We've kicked it with these people, but not too heavy. I walk into a hotel room and it's him and this other guy named Mo Jones. Now, Mo Jones and his wife in the last 3 years have went from zero to the top rank in the company as well, 0 to 3,000 people, led a monster team. And they're two black cats. One's from Chicago, one's from DC. One was in the military, one was in the hood, and then also grew up in Minnesota with some white people in Hibbing. So I'm like, Roscoe, like, I wanted to know really how they did what they've done because I can see they move like I do, but like, do they smoke weed like I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I need to figure out like what's good. I at this point, I was at this point in my life where, dude, I moved out of our 1 bedroom apartment. Tia's parents were living with us at the Felix. We moved out of there into a whole townhouse together. We lived in the basement of the townhouse. Her parents were at the top. Her brother was at the top, kitchen, everything in the middle. It's actually where I was living when I actually, if I'm not mistaken. No, just kidding. I didn't know Marcus there. But in that, I was a whole different mentee, my man, Justin Shell. Shout out him. But in that, like, it's crazy because I remember this season so vividly in my life where I was just looking for a way to actually create what I needed to create. A little background and history, y'all. Here's what created my thick skin. And this is something that, fortunately enough, none of you will ever have to go through. But in that, when I was transitioning my process and Joey had left World Ventures and came over to IM, in that season, my mentor left. And remember when we asked y'all a few days ago on the call, if your mentor left and the system left, would you keep going? I was one of those people who answered that question as yes, and I kept going. And in that, I decided one of my best friends who was actually not on my team, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just quit my position and I'm gonna rejoin with him. But when you quit as a rep, you had to be out for 6 months. So I sent an email. I actually screenshotted this email the other day. It was crazy. I sent an email. When I sent the email, y'all, our freaking customer service for the company, they got their contract dropped. So there was no customer service at corporate. So for the next 8 months, no email was ever received. No position was ever resigned. So when I tried to get back in 6 months later, and mind you, I was building the entire time just around with everybody else, though, helping whole squad, whole Minnesota market. It's like as if I was to come down to Texas, not be in the system, and help all y'all go run up your residual checks and go crack ranks this year. That's what I did for 8 straight months. Every travel party I was presenting, every Zoom we were doing Zoom trainings the whole nine. We get to the end of that 8 months. I go to sign up again, December 2018, it's a month after me and Tia get married. I can't even sign up. I send in another email. I screenshot this email. They finally received my email. Now I have to wait another 6 months before I can put my name in the company. So because we didn't have our marriage certificate yet and Tia hadn't changed her social over to Audrey Steele, I was like, let's just put it in your name. Because as a married center, you couldn't technically own like a different, it was extra legal stuff. Long story short, we got a position under Tia's name. Now, in that, because of the fact that we're building and the way that we're building is big, and people know that I'm a big leader, and Joey and other people who had left had a little bit of bad blood when they had left as well. In that season, my mentors, David Helgeson and Crystal Helgeson, decided that it was best for me and Tia to build under the radar. Here's what under the radar means. That means for everything that you do, somebody else is going to take credit. It happened to be my best friend. So we got a new position under my wife's, actually, first, it was under Jessica's name. And then after the 6 months, we transferred it over into my wife's name because there was a whole extra thing. But in that, it was in Jess's name, which is his girl. So I have to go build a position with receive paychecks that are not mine, meaning I need to trust somebody else to cash at me my commissions. And I build big. Y'all know how I come when I come. So we got it cracking. Like we put in 100 first 90 days or so. And in that, as we start going and doing this thing, put in about 500 in that first year, I absolutely took zero credit. We put in over 500 people. We built residual incomes into almost the thousands. At the time, they didn't pay nowhere near as much as EA pays. It's not like that. I could pull up the comp plan right now. It's stupid. But in that, got started, killed it, put in over 500 individuals, and in that season got recognized for absolutely nothing. Imagine taking a back seat. Imagine every week on the recognition call, somebody else is getting recognized for your achievements and accomplishments. And you have to sit there and clap for them. Imagine getting that. That's what built my thick skin. That was the type of jungle that I ran through. Imagine doing that, being the hardest worker on the team, and none of the other mentors, leaders, or the people who are taking credit for you even help you do what you're doing. And you have to go do it by yourself. And you're in an area that you're tolerated and not celebrated. That's how I spent 5 years in business. Hard is not even a word. I used to cry at night to my wife. Why doesn't anybody want to help me when I'm building all these niggas their paychecks? When they're all getting celebrated for my work. Then we transfer into a new company because the company went bankrupt. Mind you, majority of that season where I built these big ass numbers I tell y'all about, I couldn't publicly post until I hit marketing director because I couldn't publicly be in the company. So I had to do all that shit on the back end and forget about recognition and just worry about the work. This is why I am the way that I am. A lot of people really get it confused on like why bro, I don't be giving a damn about nothing. Let's go get the results. Why? Because I was forced to. It was literally conditioning for like 2 straight years. The hardest years of everybody's life. This is 2020 and 2019. I'm talking about here. So in that, while you're already being isolated, feel even more isolated by the people that you are building something amazing and dynamic with. It was different. And that was like a part of my jungle. And so in that, that was the season that built my thick skin. Everybody's going to have their season that builds their thick skin. Marcus, congratulations on your season. You're here. The trick is to not get lost in the jungle when you're just waiting around, not seeing shit, and just start grazing gas and get eaten up, or excuse me, grazing grass and get eaten up by a snake or a jaguar or a lion or whatever the fuck else is in the jungle. The trick is to actually maintain that rhinoceros mentality and to continue to stay on point and look. And then eventually you find your target and you run at it and you go get your kill, exactly as he talked about. And I feel like where we're at right now was that space, exactly what you talked about. Like we found our target. And when he talked about the jungle and everything else in this book, I just really related it to myself, even, bro. It's been an 11-year journey and I haven't gotten to nowhere near what I actually want to go and do. Like this is literally the beginning still. You know what I'm saying? This journey has been wild. But in that, I feel like we finally, like we just seen something, smelled something, and was like, hold on, wait, there it go. And now it's just literally time to charge. And as Sam said, this book is right on time because as he goes into just what charging is, what really makes sure that you can stay charging as well. Like he literally breaks down all of from the get-go. He literally starts with one, what's a rhinoceros? We all know it's a big ass animal it literally runs through brick walls, period. It talks about the art of charging. It literally is like, yo, you lock in on your goal. There's nothing else in front of you, side of you. No, none of that. You just lock in. And if you can only see 30 feet in front of you, you have to lock in on the process of running. You're not locking in on the actual goal that might be 50 yards ahead. You smelt it, you heard it, you're running at it, yes, but you're focused on the process of running because that's all you can literally see until that thing gets within your sights. And then it's game time and okay, boom, you can see that too. But you're still just focused on your process of running. If he mess up and trip on one foot, he's going to fall into a brick building. It's going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? You have to focus on your process. But in that, he also talks about what is the energy that creates rhinos from cows. And it's literally Belief. That was the reason for the intentional music in the beginning. It's literally belief. It's all about belief. As Marcus said, it's literally just belief, believe and succeed. But here's the thing. This is the part I wanted to break down, and it honestly is not in the book. And I think that Marcus and everybody else did a great job, honestly, wrapping up what the forward and the first 2 chapters talk about. But here's what's not in the book. The difference between belief and believing. There's an audio by Justin Owens that I really believe everybody should listen to. Go look it up. It's on every streaming platform. It's called Belief versus Believe. And in that audio, he literally talks about the difference. Belief is like, is the sky blue? Honestly, right now it's a little gray, but there's some blue up there. Yeah. Can you fly? Imani said yes. Some people are like, well, I mean, yeah, like with a jetpack, yes, Justin Owens. With in an airplane, jumping out of a plane with a parachute, yeah. But can you fly? Some people might say, no, I need things to fly. The difference between belief and believing is understanding like, yes, I can do this, or understanding that it can be done. Can you go icon, or can icon be hit? Are you an icon? Those 3 questions are the process of going from belief to believing. And that's why AB talks about it. And yes, bro, by the way, that quote was him, because I was on that same call and I know we ain't listening to the same audio. I was like, hold on, I heard that. He's like, lions just eat shit. This is why you're like the king of the jungle. But in that, the difference between belief and believing, and the way that Justin breaks it down, actually, you know what? It's called being host of the call. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on, we're gonna do this. Because I typed it in and it popped up today, and I was like, you know what? I want Squad to hear that.
Belief is different than the word believe. I think more people will do more once they actually start to believe, right? And we talk about building your level of belief. And there's so many different ways that you can do that. Matter of fact, the last blueprint I was talking about, you know, a lot of people talk about writing down their goals, right? And I'm not going to go through all of it right now. But if you don't believe that what you write down is possible, you're never going to do it. So what I always encourage people to do is to pick some goals that you actually believe that you can do, and then accomplish those so that you can actually start building a cycle of success. Once you accomplish something small, then you say, okay, shoot, I did that. Maybe I can do this. If you're trying to lose weight, if you just try to lose 20 pounds, you might get demotivated, right? But if you say, you know, I'm gonna just try to knock out 5. I really believe I can knock out 5 pounds. Then you knock out 5 pounds, what do you do then? Like, now hold on. Let me see. You're starting to fit in them pants again. So this cycle of success starts. But check this out. Belief is different than believe. There's a lot of people that they have a level of belief that, hey, look, is the real deal. How many people have a strong belief that cuts checks? All right. How many people there's a belief that they have a position called double platinum? How many people? That's a belief, right? But check it out. The difference, belief is like, I know it. I have a level of belief that there are Mercedes out there, right? I have a belief that there are Ferraris out there. But when you start to believe, that's when you take ownership. That's when you say it's not just out there, but that's mine. That's when you say, you know, double platinum is not a position, that's me. That's when you say time freedom is just not out there for some people. Like, I know it's out there, but when you start saying that, hey, look, this is mine, that's when things start changing. So yes, belief is important, but once you start to believe, everything changes. So I want you to ask yourself a question. Do I just have the belief that things are going to happen, or do I actually believe it? Like getting to that point, like, you know. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Like there's certain things that you just know. And you got to get yourself to a point in business and any area you're trying to change, you got to get yourself to that point where you start knowing it. Where you just stop thinking that it's possible for other people, where you stop thinking that it's nice, so you actually start believing it, and then you start living it. Now, I'm not saying that you see it, but you can see it without even seeing it. Like, you think about a car that you want, and you're not even like, I'm talking about, and this may even seem crazy to some people, but I'm saying, like, when you walk out your house, you don't even see where you at no more. Like, you in your room, you in a house that a situation you may not like, but when you're there, you don't even see that no more. What you see is what you're going to. You get in your car, the seat's messed up, all that kind of stuff. It is messing up your clothes. All that, you don't even see that. All you do, like when you touch the wheel, you touch the wheel of the car that you driving. Why? Because you go from a thought of, man, this is just possible. It's already made. It's almost like you put the down payment down. You've already paid for it. They're just delivering it to you. Oh yeah, it's 6 months. It's already here. I told them what kind of seats I want. Sunroof, the tires. It's just gonna take a little time. Same thing for your bank account. It may not be where you want it to be, but it's gonna get there. But you have to start doing what? Believing.
Sorry, not sorry. We're going to get a copyright infringement on YouTube when we post this recording. But in that, it's a vibe though. And truly, I just wanted to break that down because I felt like there was a sense of the word my brain is thinking of is foreknowledge. I don't know if that is what the real word is, but like a base level knowledge of belief versus believing before you can even get to the fact of like, okay, this is the energy that fuels me getting up and charging every single day, taking action, finding that single purpose. It comes from believing in first whom you are, second, what you are doing and what you are actually chasing, that it's real. Because you can be in the jungle for 10 years before you actually figure out this is the game plan, game set, match, let's charge. Literally. I've been out here 11 years, and while in the process it's been lit, and we definitely accomplished smaller goals along the way to build that belief. Now I'm at a point where everything has really come into alignment where I know for a fact we can just go and charge and go actually get the freedom that I've been chasing since December of 2013. So I'm truly grateful. I'm excited because we experienced it a little bit, but we didn't experience it a lot. It was like that first taste of success when you're like, oh, snap. And then it ran in the jungle and you're like, okay, I'm coming. And then you're like, oh, shit, I'm in here. Like long days, long nights. I don't know where it went, but I'm going to find it, hopefully. And you finally caught that whip. So I am truly excited because one, I literally watched y'all faces who was on camera, and I just watched it kind of click for everybody when it comes to ownership and the difference as well. So we just gonna leave it right there, and we gonna slide into chapter 3 and 4 for next week. And I'm truly excited about it. Everybody who doesn't have the book, you can get that thing on Google. Let me know if you want me to send it to you. I was not able to get it to the digital library just yet. I'm trying to figure out how to port it. The website that I used to use for that is down officially, so I gotta find it back up. But in that though, I will figure out how to get that book inside of the digital library. Until then, it's on audiobooks. It's at Barnes and Noble, if I'm not mistaken. You can order that thing on Amazon. You can get it a lot of different places. Literally, I just Googled it and clicked get the book, and it showed me everywhere where you can grab that thing. So, not gonna lie, I can tell this is about to be one of one. I can tell that if there was ever a season to read this and to actually do the things that it asks you to do, like which are I hope y'all, I seen Mama's note cards on the call. I hope y'all got y'all note cards from I think it was chapter 2, where he was like, hey, if you're a real rhino, you'll go get the note cards right now and write it down. So I hope y'all did it. Gang, gang, out the jungle. You know what I'm saying? That's where we coming with the trophy. Okay. Now it's all coming together why I've been saying this for so long. I ain't even know, but I knew. Quit playing with me. So it's game time, y'all, and I'm excited. Truly, shout out God. Chapters 3, 4, 5, and 6, Marcus said. That sounded intimidating when I said it out loud, but I bet you these chapters are really short because Marcus cares about each and every one of us. So with that being said, oh, wow. Wow, it doesn't look like that on an ebook for sure. But the book is actually not that big, y'all. It's crazy. So,
Really cool too, because there's like actual pictures in the book. It's
oh,
like
there's actual pictures in the ebook too. It's like funny cartoon drawings and And yeah, yeah. I love this. This is exciting, y'all. I really love this. I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact that we literally start this thing off with intentional music, and then from there we get into actually reading and discussing and masterminding on real life principles. It's just dope. I'm truly grateful for each and every one of y'all. But
The
we can't.
pages are it's page 33 and then chapter 7 starts on 57. So it's about 23 pages for the reading. It's not an excessive amount. You knock out 10 pages a day, you done by Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? But um there's a lot of like information compacted in here too. So I don't think a lot of people are going to be intimidated because it's very simple and it's not too hard. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into the book as well. Before we close out, Roshizi, Imani, do y'all want to add anything? I know y'all said y'all didn't have a time to read, but y'all were gonna chime in.
Yeah, I did. So, like from what y'all are saying, and firstly, just want to um shout y'all out and appreciate y'all for your vulnerability. Vulnerability is a superpower, and I think everybody should definitely be on that, show that side of yourself. That is the real, like it's just real and we all can relate to it. So love y'all for that. So from my understanding of the book is so far is that like this right, it's like a kind of like that, like a Mamba mentality almost, like that Rhino energy, where it's like they're charging at the things that they want, and that's in turn what we should be doing as well. So I'm understanding that that kind of goes into a prolific belief, if you will, that in whatever it is that you want, if it actually like sounds like if it's really like aligning with what you desire, like and what it's and you're stepping into your purpose, kind of like how seven spiritual laws was talking about, just like being deep in that purpose and knowing that the things certain can align. Because I know that there's certain things that like um I will say this is so funny because this is the simplest thing for me to compare it to. But for years, decades, okay, I have always known for a fact that I will get a parking space. It started off as a belief when I was younger. I'm like, I will always find a parking spot. Like, I've met so many people who are like, no, I never get a parking spot. Da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, you're with me. You're going to get a parking spot. And it's been down to the wire. New Year's Eve, downtown Fullerton, found a parking spot in a cut that nobody even knew was there. Cut somebody off for it, but we got it. It packed Christmas parking lot. Got to get some last minute stuff, but I found it. I found two. Hold on. So at one point, it's years. I don't know. It's been a decade plus that I've actually had this like strong belief that has come to this I know situation. I was thinking about that recently because I'm like, I want to feel like that in everything that I do. That I know if I know I can find a parking spot, I know I can handle everything else that I want to do. And I think that having that belief in yourself is so powerful. Like believing something so truly to the point where you know it um, can actually change the game. Like, man, I even like I can be impulsive for a very good reason. I moved out in Austin. I think in 3 weeks from coming out here to like deciding, okay, I'm gonna apply, got interviews, flew out here. 3 weeks later, I'm in Austin, been living here for almost 5 years. And now I'm in a different place in my life where I'm like having to have some real strong beliefs and really believing in my purpose and my passion. And I've been telling y'all I've been struggling, okay? But I started to really believe in some shit and I got a job, y'all. Ah, I am back in property management, which is not ideal, but you know what? Whatever. I'm making good money again, and I feel really great about that. And now I have a decision to like up and move out of my apartment, no questions asked. And that is like, I kind of have that feeling of doubt, but I wanted to charge at it. Like, I really like the instinct of going for it was like fuck it. And I have been like dealing with that whole thought of, okay, I know that I'm a beast with this shit. I trust myself. I know I can handle it. And then there's this like subtle doubt and fear that kind of creeps in that I've been having to like regulate and be like, listen, that's old shit. That doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I can do it. 2 weeks, I have to pack up and move my apartment in 2 weeks, but it aligns with my future goals. So, like, now that like all of these book clubs and all of the powerful creator calls and all of the talks with, all the books and reading and everything has really led me to this point of truly believing in myself with just like purity almost, So I'm gonna go for it, whatever, and it's gonna work out because it always does. But that's what I'm kind of like understanding about this book so far. So I'm excited to keep reading. Well, I'm actually excited to start reading and then continue to read. So shout out to you guys for helping me out today. Okay. Thanks. Have a fantastic Saturday.
Is this super loud?
It's not that bad.
Okay, I don't have too much. Hey, girl. I'm on the call. We'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, you on the phone? Yeah. I love you. I don't have too much to say. Um, thank you all for sharing your insight. The the thing that I wanted to say was that when I think about a rhinoceros, I think about just like, you know, they just charge and they just go. Um, and so yeah, I'm excited to start reading the book too because well, for one, I'm at an event, so I was listening to y'all and another thing. So I feel like I need more context, but I want to like dive deep into like what is this about? Like I'm very intrigued by what you guys shared. I'm like, I need to figure out how to get a copy of this book, and I'm looking to get it for free. So yeah, that part. The other thing I wanted to share was about from what Marcus read about the being in the jungle thing that resonated with me a lot. And just like what I took from that was like it's about the journey and not the destination, And I can get so focused, or like we people can get so focused on the final destination and where we're going that we will get lost in the journey. And that's it's not about the arriving point; it's about how we get to the arriving point and what we do on the way there. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this book and discussing it more with y'all when I got more to share. That's it. That's all. Okay, boom. Well, I appreciate you two ladies for chiming in and sharing a little bit about what stood out to you guys from the discussion. Um, Roach Easy, you can find the link in the book club group. Just go to the network tab of the TGF app. There is a free. I don't have access to the book club page. No, the network
There's a
page.
masterminds page where you can still see the book club group, and you do have access to that. But I also texted you the link.
Okay, cool. And then like the actual book is like it was like $8 on Amazon, so it wasn't too crazy. Right, but it's like never mind. Okay, all good. We love y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Again, chapters 3, 4, 5, and 6 for next week, and y'all have a great rest of y'all Saturday. Much love, y'all.